Hello, today I will be bringing out the purpose of this particular build and the combos I aim to achieve using with this deck. The goal of the Solfachord Pendulum deck is to summon out two boss monsters. These two in particular, by using the effect of Allies Absolute Dragon and IP Masquerena, and to special summon in Vortex and Abermax respectively. If this board is active, we get a negate, an invulnerable, and an invulnerable monster that is hard to out. Now, altogether, it's pretty. It would be a decent. It's not exactly gonna be tournament winning in meta, but anything. But it would probably be a decent start for other hard and a springboard for plays in later turns. I should mention that these are not exactly one-card combos. Rather, they build off the one-card or Evermax combo that Solfachords can pull off via use of additional extenders. Again, the goal is to get to a specific board. It is not exactly while winning games is the intention. I do not have expectations that I would do anything against the likes of, say, Dogmatica and Bulk or anything. The first thing we'll do is use Dragon Shine to mill Darkworm that earned Darkworm, of course, getting us to gate 0 on the scale, which is essential for getting our monsters out. Now the deck out. Again, the rest of this also needs 3 Solfachords, one to scale, one to pitch, and Cutia. The reason being that for her search ability, which we can leverage into getting a tool for our advantage. In this case, I'll be adding the level 7T Solfachord Beauty to the hand. And I'm also going to make sure to shuffle because while yes, this is a combo video, it kind of helps. It helps to not. I would kind of like to emulate it to game as much as possible sometimes. Sorry I didn't shuffle when adding milling the Darkworm. But yeah. And also sorry that my shuffling skills suck. Forgot about that. Now we need to ditch a Solfachord or to activate Pendulum Call. Also, we'll be using Beautia again, and to add 2 Magician monsters. Of course, these two, one of them is obviously going to be Harmonizing Magician, and the other one will be let's see, Dragon Pit. The other with the exception of Dragon Pulse, which is more for if I have if I have another magician already in hand, and the other 3 non-harmonizing magicians are meant to help and to enable certain combos that can and get to those that can get to Absolute Dragon, which in turn helps me get to Vortex X. With a monster aboard and a scale setup, we can then set up another scale. We can then scale Fancia and then use Dreamiest effect to special summon herself because Fancia has an odd scale. From there, we activate Pendulum Call, putting Beautia into the extra deck to search out a magician and a monster that would be used. And another magician monster, which in this case would be Dragon Impulse and Harmonizing. Naturally, too, again, I would like to apologize for not shuffling when milling Darkworm. This is a combo video, not a test hand video, but still want to try and emulate a one if I could. But overall. Now, Dragon Pulse is treated as a cipher. here is a cipher, and in case we drew a magician already. The obvious thing to do is to use these two as link materials to bring out IP Masquerena. This month, which will then help us get to Abermax. From there, we can do a pendulum summon of monsters between 0 and 5, which means levels 1 through 4, which both our magicians account for. So we can then pendulum summon in Harmonizing, Dragon Pulse, Cudia, and Dreamia. Furthermore, Masquerena's effect thanks to the effect of Harmonizing, we can then add another monster from the deck, which in this case is Noble Dragon Magician. And I think I'm starting to get the hang of this video making thing. Now, Noble Dragon Magician is a level 3 tuner monster. Harmonizing and Dragon Pulse host are level 4 monsters. So that means it's time for some synchro summoning. We tune Noble Dragon Magician and Dragon and Pulse to the host to bring out the synchro monster Odd Eyes Meteorverse Dragon, and then we can use a Meteorverse effect to bring out Gate 0. What this means is that now we have 2 level 7 monsters to overweight into Odd Eyes Absolute Dragon, which overall we're set for our opponent and has his turn comes, but we still have 3 monsters on the field, and one of them is a tuner. Now this means we can take these 2 and set them as the link arrows for say a Halki Fibrax, and that means we can then use Halki Fibrax effect to summon a tuner monster, which in this case will be Diviner of the Herald, and we can then use Diviner of the Herald's effect to mill a fairy and gain its levels. Now our Solfacords are also fairies, so if you can get her out earlier, she can be used to get out. Use what I believe it'd be either level 5 monster to bring, but in this case we'll be milling Tiras Hierarchia, and then now Tiras has an effect that lets attribute up to 3 fairies to used to summon them in from the graveyard, and which we can then use. Obviously, we can then use these 2. But we're probably not going to use it just yet. Another extension we can now do is, because we have a Link 2 and 2 other monsters, including Absolute Dragon, we can take them and to bring out a Link 4 monster, and of course, in this case, we'll be bringing out the dangerous Boreal Dragon, and because as Absolute was sent to the graveyard, we can also bring out Vortex early. This means we won't be able to do the Abermax play, but Boreal, but still a decent contender enter in the metagame these days. And it could also, if it's turn 3 or higher, you can instead go for Boreal Sword to push for game. And plus, you also got a Vortex out, which it's your negate. 8. Overall, that should be it for the first combo. Now let's see what we can do to achieve the same ends. Now this theoretical hand has another way we can get to our board. First off, we have 2 key cards. First is Dark Worm, which we can use to get to gate 0, because this effect works on normal summoning, and then there's 1-for-1 to compensate for the additional body. So we summon Dark Worm, earn to scale gates to get gate 0 to scale, and then we use 1-for-1 to summon Cutia, and then get her to search out for her. What this means is that we have a card, an additional card in our hand, and that in turn, we have another tool to play with. We also have a duelist Armanians, which can go and help us get to 3 key cards to adapt to a certain situation, and Dreamia, which can summon herself if again there's a odd number Solfachord scaled. So 1-for-1 unsearch QT then use her shuffle, because we technically still have to do that. Okay, that's pretty awkward. Yes. Okay, now Dreamia needs a monster with an odd scale, so we should probably be searching for that. Solfachord would be will be used for this example. Now from there we scale Fantia and summon Dreamia. We now have 3 monsters on board, so let's bring one of them out to summon IP Masquerena, and place her on the extra monster zone. We now activate Duelist Alliance to search out our Pendulum Call. All because that is our Pendulum Call being what says search out 2 magicians. And of course one of them will inevitably be harmonizing. We can now activate Harmonia and use its effect to add Dreamia or Dark Worm back to hand. We already summoned Dreamia, so let's add Dark Worm. Now we can we activate Call, pitch Dark Worm, and search out Harmonizing, and let's see. Noble Dragon. The general gist of Noble Dragon is to make a level 7 synchro to summon another level 7 monster, which can be used to make absolute. I'm pretty sure Zephyr have use a similar combo to similar ends. With IP already on board and an extra monster, plus the ability to summon out Fancy Dark Worm and Dreamia from the deck, in addition to our 2 magicians, we have a lot of room. So let's Pendulum Summon, bring out Dreamia, Noble Dragon, and Harmonizing, and then use Harmonizing's effect to special summon another magician, in which in this case, let's bring out Dragon Pulse. now these kind of what I consider to be combos, those may actually be those would be cool, or you consider them glorified test hands or as combos or otherwise. Feel free to consider them glorified. I don't think they're test hands since they aren't truly randomized. As if there are no interruptions, you can usually wind up with a field of 6 monsters pretty easily. From there, here it's pretty simple. We take Noble Dragon and Trooper Dragon Pose because we need a level 7 for non-tuner for this to work, and her to bring out Odd Eyes Meteor Burst Dragon. Meteor Burst of course summons Gate 0, which we can then overlay into Odd Eyes Absolute Dragon. We now have IP Absolute. You want 3 monsters to link away with the above 2 to summon our big boys. And we even have Fancy on scale. Let's see. So first off, we take huge. So now we wait for our opponent's turn, wait for them to activate an effect, and then use IP's Masquerade's effect to set her Absolute and Cutie to summon out our Link 4 monster, which will be Mekk-Knight Crusadia Avermax. And because Absolute was sent to the graveyard, please bring out Vortex Dragon as well. Now, both on the opponent's turn. This means we have 2 powerful monsters and 2 other monsters that we can leverage into our for other plays. So what can we do to extend from this? And from this you may ask. I think I forgot something. Let's see. Well, we can in turn one of our pendulum monsters into, shall we say, a Link 2, which will be Buzzwomio, the drop-in deleter. Here. Then we can use Masquerena and Puzzlomio to summon Celine Clear, the Master Magicians, which gains spell counters. There's equal to the amount of spells on the field and in the graveyards. We have there's counting the scale, the field spell, and the free spell. First we have 5. So, but there's only one battle target in the grave, and that's Puzzlomio. This will not allow you. This is an option you can go, but you don't need the protection that you have Masquerena's Aegis. But they're trying to rub it into a game-ending push. And from there, the obvious move would probably be to take your monsters and bring out, shall we say, one Borsal Dragon. Assets co-talkerate ain't, but it still gets the job done. Okay, I think that's gonna be it for this video. I'll see you next time. Ciao.